Many students struggle to transition back into their day-to-day routines after a long break, but sometimes this can cause an increase in behavior. In order to understand why this is and what we can do about it, we first have to understand what behavior is. The first thing here that's really important to note is that all behavior is a form of communication. Think about babies and toddlers. They might not be able to use full words or sentences yet, but they can still communicate their wants and needs through their behavior. Or even think about your own behavior. Have you ever looked at your watch, stood up, and kind of inched towards the door when you were ready to leave a party? We all use our behavior as a form of communication, but sometimes this can lead to some not so great choices. And we see this play out in classrooms all the time. But I want to remind you that this isn't unique to children. This applies to everyone. Just because someone's an adult, it doesn't mean that they've learned self-awareness, coping strategies, or healthy ways to communicate. If this was the case, there probably would not be an entire genre dedicated to true crime. My point here is that every single human deserves to have their wants and needs heard. In the classroom, this looks like educators who are self-aware and have the capacity to hold space for their students, which would be easier if educators were supported, but that's another rant for another day. It means proactively teaching things like self-regulation and giving students multiple options for communication. It also means creating a classroom community where every single student feels seen, heard, and included. Because at the end of the day, children will become adults, and the ways that they learn to communicate and participate in their classrooms will be the ways in which they show up in the world as grown-ups.